Hello everyone and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cici and today I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of a recent read video. It has been a while, let's be honest. It's been probably since July, I think. July was the last video that I uploaded. It is now mid-September, almost the end of September. A lot has happened. Started a full-time job, and it has been a learning curve. It has been an experience. Fortunately, they're going through new management, so things are a little bit rocky at the moment, and it's also a new type of customer service that I'm not used to dealing with. So dealing with customers is a new experience, and let's just say some of them are not very nice. So it has been a journey. Mental health has been up and down and all over the place, but things are starting to look like they're getting back to normal, which is really great. So yeah, reading has been okay. Let's go and talk about the books that I have actually managed to finish in the time that I have been away. That one, okay. There's a lot of books. This is gonna be a long video, guys, so I hope you grab a cup of coffee or a drink, because this is gonna be a long video. My reread of Furyborn, so that I listened to this in the car when I was driving to my old job, because I had about a 40 to 50 minute drive every morning and every afternoon. So I listened to this because I wanted to eventually get to reading like the second book and everything like that, because I do have the trilogy, just haven't had a chance to actually read it yet. So read this one. This is a high fantasy novel where we have two separate timelines. First one is where we follow Queen Riel, and she's not queen yet. Basically, in this world, she has the abilities over like all of the elements, which is not normal. Usually people only have one or two, but she has like all four of them, five. And there is a prophecy that says there will be two queens, one of blood and the other is the Sun Queen. So there's a Blood Queen and the Sun Queen. So there's a prophecy where people who have this power are going to be the Blood Queen. So she has to go through this series of tasks to sort of prove that she is not the Blood Queen. And then we have our other timeline where we follow our other main character, Eliana. So she is set, like, I think it's 2,000 years after the time of Riel. And the evil guys have won. You don't know why or how, and basically she is helping the rebels, even though she doesn't really want to, and discovers a few things about herself and the world of the Empire and everything is sort of unveiled to her in a way that she wouldn't expect. This does have like celestials and angels, and I thought it was a really well done sort of intricate way of how the author managed to fit fantasy with like the element of angels and everything like that, because the only other time that I've read like angels being a part of a fantasy series is in City of Bones. So I really enjoyed this. First time around I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Second time I'm giving it a 3.5, because it was a little bit boring in places and definitely was a little bit more confusing than I remember. So yeah, that was the first one that I finished. The second book that I managed to finish was also another audiobook. This was the month that I read a whole bunch of audiobooks. And this was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This is a very unforgettable thriller. I actually can't even remember what it was about. Let me have a look. I gave it a 1 star, so that just tells you. Oh, okay, so it's another like dark academia type of thriller where we've got 6 friends and they have a college reunion, and then there was an unsolved murder where one of them died and one of them got blamed for it and was put away in jail for it, and yeah, so 10 years after their graduation, Jessica Miller has planned to her triumph return to Southern elite Duquette University, down to the envious whispers that are going to sure follow in her wake. Everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see, confident, beautiful, and different, not the girl that she was when she left campus back when Heather's murder fractured everything, including the tight-knit bond linking the 6 friends that she'd been closest to since freshman year. It was a very, very boring and slow thriller. It was very predictable. I knew exactly who had done it. It was not... I hated the characters. The main character was extremely annoying, extremely petty, and like just so self-righteous, and I just did not enjoy her whatsoever, so I gave it a 1 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I read was actually another thriller. I read a whole bunch of thrillers and like mysteries and stuff because that was what my TBR rolled. So yeah. Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is my very first Colleen Hoover book, and I remember watching Becca from Becca in the Books freak out when she read this book, so I wanted to give it a go and have a read of it. So this is a really interesting thriller where we have our main character, Lowen, who is an author, and she's sort of struggling with fame and everything. She doesn't like being in the spotlight, but her company keeps forcing her to like go and do like book signings and things like that, and she just really doesn't like that. She's struggling to try and put out her next book, and the company, her publishing company, somebody just walked past my window. Her publishing company come to her and they say, I've got a deal. There is this other well-known author called Verity Crawford, and she writes these like well-known, I think it's murder mysteries or something like that, and unfortunately she has been in a terrible accident that's left her in a coma, and so she can't finish the series, and so they want Lauren to help like co-write it and finish the series, and they're offering her a lot of money for it, and so she sort of says yes and goes to spend some time at the Crawford mansion where she meets up with Verity's husband, and they sort of go through like her office and find out all the information that she had on the story that she was writing, and she sort of stays there in the house, and creepy things start happening while Lowen is going through Verity's manuscripts and everything like that. She discovers this sort of unpublished biography that Verity was writing about herself, and discovers a few secrets that she was not intending to find out, and it sort of makes her think twice about what she's doing, and it was just a crazy ride. The ending was kind of predictable, but like everything else was like really shocking, and I think I gave this one about a 3 out of 5 stars because thrillers are really not my style. Whoops. But I enjoyed the thrill factor and everything inside. I was just kind of hoping it to be a little bit more dramatic, I guess. So 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, so after that I decided that I was going to just DNF Zodiac Academy. So softly DNFing this one. I may possibly come back to it at some point. So far I just cannot get into it. So I don't know when I'll be able to get back into it. So it's a soft DNF for now. The next book was also another audiobook, and that was Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. This is a Hades and Persephone take, I guess. It was okay. It was very smutty, very like BDSM style of like relationship, which I don't have anything against. I enjoy reading books like that, I enjoy reading fanfic like that, so that's not what the issue was with this book. I didn't like the portrayal of the characters. I didn't like the sort of double standards that the whole book entailed. So yeah, I think I gave this one a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Not rememberable. I believe I have attempted another book from Katie Roberts. She writes the sort of the twisted, smutty Disney books where like, I think like The one that I read was like the Hercules one, where it was like a throuple between Hades, Meg, and Hercules, and I just didn't like the writing style, so I don't think Katie Roberts is for me. This big old bad boy. I tabbed it. You can't really see, but I tabbed it. Had a good old time reading it. I was very bored for a lot of it, and was just getting annoyed that, like, the secrets that were kept just cannot be physically possible. There is no way no one would have found out about them, is all I want to say. Either way, I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. The ending is what made this whole book worth reading. I don't know how Sarah J Maas is going to do anything. I don't know what she's planning. I just know I need the next book, whether it be this next book or whatever. I need another one. Please don't make it be as big as this, because this is ridiculous. This is like almost 1,000 pages, I think. No, it's only 800 pages. Wow, it's 100 pages short of being 1,000 pages. It's huge. Doesn't need to be this big. Definitely could have cut out some bits and pieces. Yeah. Alright, so the next book that I read was on my Kindle, and this was Hellfire by Marielle Pomeroy. I believe I've probably pronounced that wrong. I found this on Instagram because I actually managed, I don't know how I didn't know that she had written this book, but I followed the author on Instagram and saw that she had written this book, and it was like a dark sort of celestial fantasy smutty book, and decided to pick it up. It was a little hard to understand because she's changed like a lot of the language into like her own, or like has like a glossary for like whole phrases and whole sentences, and like, you know, she's got a whole glossary in there, and it's very hard to read a glossary on a Kindle because you can't like flip back to the pages and stuff like you can physically. So that was one struggle that I had, which I find I struggle with it so much. So that was a struggle that I had, and I definitely think it sort of made me suffer a little bit. But this was okay. I gave it a 2... What did I give it? I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, so not too bad. I'm interested in picking up the second book, but I probably won't make it a priority. If it comes up on Kindle Unlimited, I'll grab it. Next book, The Cousins by Karen McManus. Another sort of whodunit mystery type thing. Unrememberable. I only gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I was rather bored throughout the entire thing. I read it in a day. It was very simple. The shocking twist at the end was not even that shocking. So yeah, but I am interested in seeing more of Karen and McManus's books, so I am possibly going to pick up more of them. But so far, this one was a bit meh. Probably would have done better as a film or a TV series. But yeah, it didn't translate well in a book form for me anyway. Next, I read The Curious Beginning, which is book 1 of the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn. This is a historical fiction murder mystery style book where we have our main character who is a like butterfly catcher type person, and she's very, very smart, and she gets like an assassination attempt on her. The person who helps save her takes her to somebody that they think will be able to protect her, and then they end up dead, and it's sort of like, whoa, oh my gosh. So her and the illustrious, I've forgotten what his name is, but they decide to take it upon themselves to find out who actually killed the person that saved her, and also is attempting to kill her. And it's just this whole crazy story. It was a little boring and a little long. At least it felt long. I think it was only like 350, 400 pages, but it was still very draggy, so I didn't really enjoy it all that much. But I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, and I am possibly going to continue. I think my library has most of them, so I'll pick them up when I feel like being in the mood for it. But yeah. Alright, next book I read was Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. This is a high fantasy where we have two main characters who are twins. We have Ren and Rose. Ren was taken from the castle when she was born and given it to the witches, and Rose was left to become the princess. Ren is now deciding that it's her time to take back the throne and to allow witches back into the kingdom and to stop the assassinations and everything of witches. And Rose is then taken to the witches and discovers more about herself than she realized. And yeah, it's a YA. It was rather childish in places. The romance in it was a bit meh, but it was an interesting end to the story, and it's only a duology, I think, so I will be continuing on the series, and it was a 3 out of 5 stars for me. Next we have another thriller. So we have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is another sort of dark academia murder mystery where we've got our main character, gosh, what's her name? We have our main character, Stevie Bell, who has managed to get herself a spot in Ellingham Academy, which is like this very sort of seclusive, either way, academy where it's sort of like if you're a prodigy in something, you can just sort of hone that talent that you have. You don't have to like go to normal school and stuff like that. When the academy was first built and sort of was first up running, the owner's daughter and wife were kidnapped and were thought to be murdered, and there was also a couple of murders of the students who were at the academy at the time, and so it's created this whole big murder mystery around the academy, and Stevie Bell is like obsessed with that and is trying to figure out, you know, what happened and how it happened and all that sort of stuff. And while she is there, another student gets murdered and chaos ensues. I really cannot remember the ending of this at all, but it wasn't really that great. I was kind of bored throughout the entire thing, so I only gave it a 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm still deciding if I'm going to pick up the next book or not. Alright, and now we have our last 2 books for this video. Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. This is the 5th and 6th? Sort of 5th and 6th, sort of 6th and 7th book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. People think that you should read these like in tandem at the same time. I didn't do that. I read Empire of Storms and then Tower of Dawn. This was a reread of Empire of Storms for me and a reading of the first time for Tower of Dawn. Chaol is not my favourite character, and he is one of the characters that I like the least, so reading this was a struggle and a half. I was bored the entire time and could not care less. So this was a 2 out of 5 stars. So far I haven't made my way far enough through Kingdom of Ash in order to see if reading this was even worth it. But if Chaol is your favourite character and you want to know more about the different continents that are around Aurelia, go ahead and read it. I didn't have that much of a great time. It took me a while to read through it. But yeah, I mean, there is kind of like an answer to a big question, I guess, or even just like secret information that is told, which I guess could be enough of a thing to read it, but honestly, I'm pretty sure you would find out in Kingdom of Ash anyway, so yeah. And then obviously Empire of Storms. This one did not hurt as much as the first time I read it, which was great. It was a reread. Finally on my way to Kingdom of Ash now, so that's the main point of why I was reading these anyway. Alright, now it's time to try and carry all of these at once. Not going to be possible. I already know that for a fact. Ooh, alright, okay, so these are all of the books that I have managed to read over the last 3-4 months since I have been away, plus like what, 2 audiobooks as well. So I've been doing good. Most of these, I will say, were actually read during like July and June, and I did have a lull in there between July and August because it was my birthday, stuff was happening at work, and yeah, so I managed to read all of these, which is, I think, a decent amount. So yeah. Let me know if you guys have read any of these and what your thoughts were on some of the books. I know that I probably had a couple of unpopular opinions, so I do apologize for that, but a lot of these were not my genre and are books that I would never necessarily go towards, but I do have them on my shelf, so I'm trying to get through them so I can keep them or get rid of them and make way for books that I do actually like. Let me know if you would like to see more videos like these. If you have any other suggestions for video ideas, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to do videos that you guys would want to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you are not subscribed, please lick the button. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you are not subscribed, please click that link right down there so you can be subscribed and be notified for when I upload new videos, and you can stay up to date with everything that I am posting. If you'd like to stay up to date with more things that I am doing, you can check out my Twitter and Instagram. Links are always down in the description box below, so do go ahead and check those out. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you guys in another video later on.